So I'm getting ready to start rehearsing to record portions of this audiobook. I probably won't be recording any today, but everything I've read says it's always really important to go ahead and practice and practice and practice. Um, and part of that, especially for me right here at the beginning, I'm still, refining character voices and everything. So the final recordings of everything need to be completely polished, and you have to have consistency all the way throughout the project. For a fiction story, obviously that can be hard because you're juggling more than one character voice. Um, so I've been, kind of going back through and developing character voices. Um, and so, yeah, so I just decided to take a few minutes here after lunch. Baby's laid down. My sick 4 year old's playing with his tablet, although he's not acting so sick now. And I'm just kind of getting ready to practice a little bit. So I thought that I would share what that looks like. It's funny because I didn't actually want to record this, which told me maybe I should. You have to do the things that, make you feel uncomfortable because comfort is the enemy of progress. So I feel like maybe I'm feeling uncomfortable, but maybe there's somebody who would benefit from seeing this, and so that's why I'm sharing. So, in case you don't know, the book that I'm narrating is by Leslie Schwartz. It's called Seraphim, and it's an urban angels and demons fantasy. It's got an epic feel to it, the way I read it, because it goes into end of the world, um, or at least end of the world as we know it. So the book is just fascinating. It's a great read, great story. Um, I love all the characters, even the ones I hate. Um, so so yeah, so just wanted to give you that background, and I'll go ahead and show you a little bit of what I got. And keep in mind, I'm using my phone to record this video, so it will sound different because I have a microphone, a nice microphone that I actually record with. Prologue. Another one? Lilith implored as Lydia emerged from the entrance of a chamber well hidden in the panels along the temple's far left wall, the stain of crimson still visible on her lips and chin. It was like being stabbed frantically with a stitching awl, Lydia complained. Lilith giggled as she poured her stepdaughters some wine. She admired the engravings on the gold cup as she handed it off and sat on her throne. The limestone was cool against her bronze skin, which she had lovingly draped in a sheer, fringed shawl. Lydia, dearest, she condescended, how many times must I explain that you have to train a man to please you? No man will ever seem worthy of you if you do not teach him to be. I refuse to put that kind of effort into a relationship I expect will only last until sunrise, Lydia retorted as she sat on her own throne, somewhat smaller and to the left of her stepmother's. If a man cannot satisfy me... See, I accidentally hit Lilith's voice just then. If a man cannot satisfy me, he will be my dinner. You will never be satisfied. What you are disallows it, Lilith told her, but at least you'll be well fed. They raised their cups to each other and drank. Mmm. Maybe deeper? Mmm. Yeah. The man sitting at Lilith's feet whined. She kicked him in the ribs before reprimanding him. I will give you back your speech when I'm sure you've learned your lesson. The naked man cowered and nodded, his lips still fused together. That's right, fused together. Several other servants stood around the throne room doing their best to remain still and silent, awaiting instruction, beratement, or torture. They only wished that the hordes of worshippers that gathered around the temple day and night would one day rise up against these creatures and save them from their servitude. They knew, however, that was a hopeless fantasy, so they suffered, resigned to their fate. I'm bored, Lilith lamented. I think it's time for us to move on, spread out, expand our empire. What did you have in mind? Lydia wondered. I'm so glad you asked, Lilith said giddily. I have great plans for us. Our army is set to invade all of the nearby cities all at once. They only await my order. Nippur, Nineveh, Assur, once I've taken control there, I can take what's rightfully ours. Babylon, Lydia concluded. Yes, we reign here, not them. We'll take the city and I will find a way to close the gate permanently. With that done, the entire world can be ours. It's so much bigger than you know. I can't wait to show you. My queen, a man said from across the room. He had entered while the two were talking and didn't want to be punished for interrupting, but this couldn't wait. Yes? A little bit different. Yes? There we go. Lilith said quizzically. I want to thank you for the honor of your presence, and I've come today to ask that you please save my farm. My crops are dying, the man explained. I have 4 children at home that won't survive if I cannot feed them. If you were me, Lilith asked, would you care about that? That was a little too long. I'll try that again. If you were me, Lilith asked, would you care about that? I've not come empty-handed, my queen. I offer sacrifice. He unwrapped the bundle he had been carrying to reveal a sleeping infant. Lilith's interest was piqued. She sniffed the air. Well, that baby is brand new, she said lustfully. Yes, he confirmed. Born last night. I have no way to feed her. She is yours if you help me. I beseech you. Where is that child's mother? Lydia asked. Dead, he told her. The delivery proved to be too difficult. Dead? Lilith queried. It's not much of a sacrifice to offer a burden. Please, my queen, I will give you anything. Take of me what you will. Fine, Lilith sighed. I'm feeling generous. I accept your sacrifice. Thank you, the man gushed, laying the baby at Lilith's feet, the mute servant staring in horror. Thank you so much. He placed his hand over his heart and bowed as he left the temple, relief washing over him like rain. Why do they think I can solve their problems? Lilith asked. They think you're God, Lydia reminded her. Oh, right. She chuckled. So, like I said, there's angels and demons, and then we've got Lilith, who's crazy. Leslie, the author, she told me that Lilith is basically a 14-year-old psychotic girl. That's how she is. And if you, as you should, read the book or listen to the audiobook once it comes out, you'll find out a bit more about Lilith, but that is her preferred appearance, that age. So in my head, I just tried to imagine how all of the Mean Girls sounded when I was in high school, when I was a freshman or a sophomore, right? Like how the Mean Girls sounded. Our voices hadn't quite, I mean, I guess girl voices don't change quite as much as male voices do, right? But they do change. And so, so at that age, when you're 8th grade, 9th grade, like you're still, your voice could still be a little bit higher, not hasn't quite mellowed out a bit. So that's kind of what I was going for with Lilith. And then with Lydia, as I've, read the book and everything, she just seems kind of more aloof. She likes to put on airs. She lives well. Now here in the prologue, she's living well, but even as the book moves through the timeline, she lives well. So I kind of imagine her voice a bit more aloof. I don't think, she wants to be, she's very attractive, and she's, so she's, I think, got that sultry voice that she ought to have for what she is, which you'll find out. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of where I am with that right now. This was actually a kind of a fun exercise. So hopefully it's well received. But yeah, so I had to order a pop screen because I didn't have one, and my audio audio producer, he was like, yeah, so if you get a pop screen, that will help you. And so I got one. I ordered it from Amazon yesterday. And so once it gets here, I will begin recording in earnest. I'll be doing the prologue. Uh, and I'm going to be trying to get through the prologue and the first chapter in terms of what I'm recording that I can then pass on to my producer. Um, so yeah, so it's just, I guess, I don't know. Is he a producer? Is he a editor? I probably should look that up. That's like the weird thing. You're like, okay, like I don't know, audio editor, because I guess technically I'm the producer, but I'm narrating. Um, so yeah, so I guess it's a little bit of a weird spot, but I guess that's kind of part of this audiobook narrating journey. I need to learn the vernacular. I need to learn the buzzwords. I need to get hip. Yeah, I won't say that again.